In this topic, we will talk about dilation. So let's try to understand translation first. Translation. Okay. So if you have a function g of x is equal x plus k, then it will go up. Where it will go up. If you have g of x is equal x minus k, it will go down, and we call this as vertical translation. We call this as vertical translation. So for example, if you have g of x is equal x plus 3 unit up, vertical translation, x minus 3 unit down, vertical translation. Next, if you have g of x is equal brackets like this, parenthesis x plus k, then you will move left. You will move to the left, and if you have g of x is equal parenthesis x minus k, then you will move to the right. So now if you look, we are moving horizontally, so that's why we call it horizontal translation. Horizontal translation. Now here if I say parenthesis x plus 2, then it will move 2 units to the left, 2 unit horizontal translation. If I say x minus 2, then 2 unit right, 2 unit right horizontal translation. Okay, right horizontal translation. So this is all about translation. Now let's try to understand dilation. So these questions are on the topic of dilation. Now how does that work? If you have a function like g of x is equal ax, okay? In this one, if you have mod a more than 1, it means this variable here will be this is a constant, so this will be a number. If it is more than 1, then you will call it as stretch, stretch, vertically. This will be stretch vertically. And then if you have this constant is between 0 and 1, between 0 and 1, then it will be compress vertically, compress vertically. Now let's look at these questions that we have. Now is this okay? First of all, let me just clear the horizontal dilation also. So if you have ax in the parenthesis, this will be horizontal dilation. This will be horizontal dilation, and this will be vertical dilation. That's the difference. Vertical dilation. Now what is the difference? It is not in the parenthesis, it is in the parenthesis. That is the difference. So here is 5 in the parenthesis? No. So this is vertical dilation. Now 5 is more than 1, so this will be stretch vertically. Stretch vertically, right? Now here this a is less than 1. 1 over 3 is between 0 and 1. So this will be compress vertically. Now in this one, this is 1.5, so this is 1.5 is more than 1. This will be stretch vertically. That's it. That's all you have to tell from this graph. Now if you have to draw this, then use the table method which I have discussed in the classroom, or else I'll discuss after this video. Now horizontal dilation, in this case if you have a more than 1, then opposite of this, here it is a stretch, what will happen here? Compress horizontally, compress horizontally, opposite of this. Now if it is between 0 and 1, then it will, this is compress, this will be stretch. That's it. That's how you can remember. Now let's talk about these questions down. Let me take a different color. Okay. Now here, this is in the parenthesis, so this will be horizontal dilation. in the parenthesis horizontal, in the parenthesis horizontal dilation. Now let's look at A. A is more than 1, 3 is more than 1. So this will be compress horizontally. Compress horizontal. Here 3 over 4 is between 0 and 1. 0 less than 3 over 4 less than 1. So this will be stretch horizontal. Stretch horizontal. 0.4. Now 0.4 is less than 1. So again compress horizontal. Compress horizontal. That's it. That's the basic difference. So if you have this, then it is vertical dilation. If you have this, it's horizontal dilation. Without the parenthesis, with the parenthesis. That's it. More than 1, stretch. Between 0 and 1, compress. Horizontal is opposite. Here stretch, compress. Compress, stretch. That's it. Now one more concept. Let's discuss that one also. Now let's talk about reflection. Let's talk about reflection. I think we have some question on that also. Let me move to the, yes, here. So now if you see here, this is what type of dilation? If I ask you the dilation in this one, this is AX, right? So this is vertical dilation, right? Here vertical dilation, vertical dilation. Now, A is more than 1? Yes, A is more than 1 because mod of A, 4 is more than 1. 8 is more than 1. 2 over 3, bit less than 1. This will be stretch or compress. So I think that will be stretch, yes? Stretch vertically. Again, stretch vertically, and this is compress vertically. That's you have to remember. Now, what about minus here? Now, the new thing here is minus. Now, you can say that, Mr., this is negative 2 over 3. So, it is less than 1. I mean, sorry, less than 0. But we are talking only about mod A. We are only looking at the number. Negative, we will deal differently. So, if you have a negative, you will talk about reflection. If you have a negative here, it is a reflection. So, if you have g of x, let's say minus a x, this will be reflected, this you need to remember, reflected across x axis. So this one will be reflected across x axis. This will be reflected across x axis. This will also be reflected across x axis. And this will also be reflected across x axis. Now what if you have g of x is equal in the parenthesis minus ax? If you have something like this, then this will be reflected. Now you can just guess. This is reflected across y axis. That is the basic difference. So these things you need to remember. So you can just write down all these things in single page. Try to remember it. Try to remember one and the rest is opposite, okay? So if you remember this one, now you know that if you have minus outside, this is x-axis. Other than that, that will be y-axis. So that's it for this video.